All right, happy Tuesday night, everybody. Welcome to the daily broadcast coming to you from the Arctic Air Studios. We're here in West Texas and on the South Plains. We're in the grips of the late August heat. Yeah, going to have a couple of days in a row, maybe like 100 degrees. We can handle it because we have Arctic air on our side. That's right. Now, if you don't have the bear on your side, you need to call the bear. Callthebear.com. Make it happen. Tonight, Mexican food, hole in the wall places, non chains, a Big 12 champion. Who's it going to be? You want Utah? You want K State? Or do you want the field? Is it parity? Is it deep? Or is the Big 12 just a whole bunch of whatever? You tell us today. And then whatever else may be on your mind, Texas Tech football or otherwise, we're here for you tonight. I want you to do a couple of things. The early arrivals. Let us know the audio is good, the video is good. Give us thumbs up, hearts, whatever it is, whether you're on X, which is also Twitter, whether you're on YouTube, or whether you're on Facebook Live. You can join us on all those fronts, all of those places. But I want you to share it with your friends. It's easy to do. There's a share button. Invite them in every day. If you do that, conversation good. We have fun. Everything's good. Craig, indeed, the talking box is on. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com. You started your day there. You'll end your day there. In the middle of the day, you go there. Of course, this morning, we had our Tuesday's best topic, 2 best hole-in-the-wall, non-chain Mexican food restaurants, Lubbock, Texas, or otherwise. What do you got for me tonight? Wherever you may call home, doesn't have to be just Lubbock or West Texas. We're looking for great Mexican food places because it's 100 bajillion degrees outside. So we got that tonight, and then obviously we've got Big 12 that we're talking about. But you started the day at TheRaiderland.com. Then you looked at all the cool Raiderland hot links. I know you did, Alan. Alan goes through the hot links every morning. We serve them up fresh and hot. They're cool, and it's awesome. And I figure if I like stuff, you guys are going to kind of like it. You can always hit me up with stuff at Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter or post in the comments. Now, we're coming to you tonight from the Arctic Air Studios, brought to you by The Reserve, a culinary tavern, 103rd and Quaker, Lubbock, Texas. If you love the old Nick Sports Bar, well, hey, they just moved the party on down the road, but then they said, what if we didn't do a sports bar? What if we did like a really cool restaurant, but with TVs, and you can watch the game, and it's awesome. And the atmosphere is laid back, cool, fun, casual. The menu is fantastic. And you can actually hear people speak in conversational tones while still hearing the music. The acoustics at the Reserve make it worthwhile going in. So if you're coming into town for football weekend, whatever, and you hadn't checked out the Reserve, you need to check it out. Also tonight, we welcome onto the program our friends at Sideline Provisions. That's right. If you want to look good, if you want to look cool, if you want to be one of the cool kids, you need some gear from Sideline Provisions, whether we're talking about hoodies, T-shirts, caps, lots of hats, lots of caps, and of course the great polo shirts that you've come to know and love them. You can find them in the Hubaplex at the old Cardinals. Now they had to change the name. Nothing against Cardinals, but now it's Quarter 4. So you go to Quarter 4, right off the South Loop Slide Road, right there. Talking to the old Cardinals. You get in there and you get some Sideline Provisions. The original Guns Up logo, yeah, they've got that. And of course, it's owned and operated by some great Red Raiders, a lot of great Texas Tech guys. Check it out, Sideline Provisions. I think I need to talk to my boys over there and get a couple of shirts that I can wear here on the show, so I can look as good as you guys do when you're rocking the Sideline Provisions. All communications on the show, whether it's Craig talking about Anna's in Olton, or whether it's Lance talking about Jimenez on 34th over there by Coronado, off of Vicksburg. Or Alan, Chilito Pepper in Wolforth. I didn't know Chilito Pepper had a second location. Did they do that? I didn't think they did that. Did they do that? Did they? Maybe. I'm unaware of that. No, it's not a chain. It's locally operated. You can have multiple locations of a non-chain restaurant in the same locale. We will allow that. All the communications brought to you by Market Street United Supermarkets. Great supporters of Texas Tech, obviously, unlike some grocery stores. And then the Western, where you see us where do we get it? 1 minute saving a mile outside the Loop, West 19th, Boot City. Tell Cody we sent you out there. All right, let's get it rocking and rolling tonight. Tuesday's best. Give us your favorite non-chain Mexican food restaurants. You can give us your go-to order when you go there. I'm intrigued, Alan, that Chilito Pepper over there in Wolford, they have 2 locations. And then Big 12 champion this year. Tomorrow we will do our Texas Tech season record win prediction deal tomorrow. So get ready for that. Think about it. Be ready. We'll go on the record tomorrow. I'm comfortable now with what we've seen in August camp, summer camp. We used to call it 2 days. I don't do 2 days. I'm good with where I think they are. And we've had a chance, and this is critical, to see what's going on around the league. Who are you playing? What are they doing? Any crazy, weird injuries? Anything change how you view some of the teams on your schedule? And then, of course, there's the drama in Boulder where come on, let's be honest. You want Colorado in the Big 12. You need Colorado in the Big 12. They are the gift that will keep on giving as long as Deion Sanders is there. And then it's not going to matter. So I give you this tonight. You can go a couple of different directions. I don't know, you guys are sitting there on X, Twitter. Where are my Twitter people? There. Okay, Lance is on Twitter tonight. Getting your comments in, Mexican food and everything else. Want to hear from you on that. I give you a couple of options here. You could make a betting wager. Minus 110 to win the Big 12. And this is so not a Las Vegas number, okay? I'm just trying to make it easy for you. So minus 110, you get Utah or Kansas State to win the Big 12 this year. Plus 110, you get the rest of the league. Any other team in the Big 12 other than those 2 teams, other than Will Howard, other than Cam Rising, other than Kyle Whittingham, other than the dominant Utah Utes who have ruled the Pac-12 with an iron fist over the last 15 to 20 years. It doesn't matter who was there. And then they would go into the college football playoff every year and assert their dominance, and now are coming to lord over the Big 12 like no team in the league has ever seen. I mean, at least that's the way I see it and hear it on social media in some places. That Utah is here to free us from bad football. You know? Avery, I'm sorry, did I say Will Howard? My mistake. My apologies. Sorry. You get used to saying certain names. Yes. August. Transfer portal. NIL. Thank you, Nathan. You are correct. Butch Johnson. Never mind, that's a different deal. So Utah seems to be kind of the prohibitive favorite. Then you look at Kansas State. Then people look at Mike Gundy. Is Mike Gundy crazy? Y'all think he's crazy or not? But OSU would run the Big 12. Yeah. Oregon State, no. Oklahoma State, how many? Ohio State, how many OSUs do we want to go to? And now we get into the whole discussion about the parity in the league. That we have this discussion right now that while there might not be a top 5 team in the country, a top 4 guaranteed, what we used to say playoff team, but that the league is so deep. Okay, is it deep? Do you see it that way? And if that's the case, then sign me up for the field versus Utah and Kansas State. Yes, Ohio State. Okay, yeah. And yes, Ohio State, would they run the Big 12? Probably. Michigan's not in the Big 12 right now, right? They can get away with that? Okay. Need to get J.D. Vance on and find out his thoughts on Ohio State, Big 12, and Michigan. So part of the question on who's going to win the Big 12 boils down to how do you view the Big 12 in the discussions that we've had preseason, whether it's immense parity or whether there are a couple of teams up at the top that you think can separate. Forgive me for not buying into Utah. All right? Forgive me for not just signing up and going, yeah, Utah, great. Because I've watched what they've done in the Pac-12 that I've had very little respect for the most part. over the last however many years, I've had very little respect for the Pac-12. So what little they've done there, and then when they've been good, what little they've done when they've actually been good, there's nothing that leads me to believe that they're as good as now. And we're talking on average here, right? We're talking an average here. So as good as the last couple of seasons of Big 12 top teams, certainly the good Oklahoma teams, you know, when they were coached by Lincoln Riley, who used to be from Muleshoe, Texas. And we don't have to talk about Texas because they really hadn't done anything. So who do you think wins the Big 12? Those are the questions tonight. Now, if you want to get into Tech football, fire away. We can discuss Tech. We're going to do the hardcore prediction tomorrow. Can't wait to see what you guys are thinking. We have used an over-under win total of anywhere from 7.5 to 8. And I have, I think I went on record last week saying I lean towards the over if you set it at 7.5, not just lean. I would be taking the over at 7.5. At 8, you know, 8.5. Now I've got a lean. Where do you think it's going to end up? We'll do that tomorrow. CJ is on Facebook. I'll go with the field on the Big 12 winner. Due to depth, at least 10 deep, they will end up spoiling each other. Yeah, that's kind of where I find myself sitting here as we get ready to start this season, is that I have no reason to believe anybody runs the table. I have no reason to believe that anybody night in and night out is decidedly that much better, that you don't have upsets of the top teams, the bottom teams, and everything in the middle. You know, and without giving away my Tech deal, like if I were on the outside looking in, and I'm looking at, and we've seen a couple of these over the last few weeks, you know, like Texas Tech could be a spoiler, you know, whatever you want to call that, a dark horse, a team that could evolve, that could elevate, that could get into the championship game in the league. You know, certainly Oklahoma State. Again, I asked the question: Is Mike Gundy crazy? You guys think he's crazy? Is he a good coach? Did you see where they put QR codes on the helmets at Oklahoma State so you can like direct fund NIL payments now? I mean, here's a guy, as Frank Caliendo would say, doing John Madden. Here's a guy in Mike Gundy who hates NIL, hates the transfer portal, yet Oklahoma State has one of the most advanced ways for you to pay the players. Throw that thing in the media guide in the program. I mean, seriously, we're getting to the point with a QR code where a guy can throw a touchdown pass, and you can go into the program off your phone and Venmo him $25. Great job, kiddo. Love it. Ryan is also on Facebook. That's not a drug. Well, it could be classified. The Big 12 championship game will come from Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Utah, and Texas Tech, he says. So kind of, you know, trying to have his cake and eat it too, which why would you why would you have a cake and not eat it? Where does that phrase come from? He wants to have his cake and eat it too. No, I just want to have the cake over here. I'm going to set it over here. Yeah, you guys, oh, it's my cake. Yeah, I'm not going to have it. The dumbest thing ever. The Big 12 championship, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Utah, and Tech. That would be a cool round robin bet, by the way, that somebody could put together, and they probably do. Of you pick, you know, based on odds, you get 4 teams, 5 teams that you're trying to get into the title game, depending on which ones get there, based on what you bet on each level. I'm making this a lot harder than it needs to be. Anyways, it could be an interesting round robin. Best non-chain Mexican food restaurants. Best non-Mexican food restaurants that serve Mexican food in a non-chainular fashion. What do you get? That's what I want tonight. Hole in the wall. Doesn't have to be a hole in the wall. It can be really nice. 'Tis the season. As we go into the fall, it's always time. It's always time for Mexican food, right? So non-chain Mexican food restaurants. What do you got for me? And I'm still, and I'm not saying Alan is wrong, but Chilito Pepper out of Wolford, I did not know they had a second location. I don't know where it is. That's great for them. And they do serve just straight ahead Tex-Mex, Weston, West Tex-Mex, fancy good stuff. Great papas, by the way. They dice the potatoes when they do the papas with it. Oh, really good. Lubbock is always home to really fine Mexican food up and down, from high end to, like I said, hole in the wall. Not that that's a bad thing, everything else. You get some places that come and go so quick, though, you're like, oh, man, what happened to it? Then you get the ones that hang around for a while. So you can give us some of your favorite ones that are non-chain. Durango's, yeah. And I can't remember. Let's see. Did they try to open one down for Picante's on 34th? Am I dreaming, or who am I thinking of? I thought they tried to open one just west of Picante's there on 34th and like between Quaker and Memphis. Could be wrong. The old Taco Village, now it's out there out by the airport off I-27. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Good setup. It's just so far away from me. I'm going through 3 counties to get there when we're talking about Taco Village. So Joseph is busting out the odds. Which one we got here? Odds of winning the Big 12 title, conference title, Kansas State, 23.3% according to ESPN, 21.9% Utah. I disagree with the Arizona number right there at 11% for Oklahoma State. Tech is at 3.1%. Interesting. That's nothing I put stock into. Best non-chain Montelongo's on the Clovis Highway. On any given day, Montelongo's may have the best salsa of any place you're going to go in Lubbock. And I say on any given day because it varies. It depends. Who's making the salsa? What did we get that day? What are the ingredients? What are we working with? Is the guy making the salsa going through a divorce? Is he extra angry? Is he trying to kill Gringo Day? We don't know. That's what makes it beautiful. Craig, the lady who sells burritos out of the trunk of her car. Yeah. Always good. Always good. I say always good. Sometimes I've had a few bad burrito lady experiences. Is that a good name for a band or a bad name? The Burrito Lady Experience. I don't know. You guys tell me. Best non-chain Mexican food places where you are. Could be Lubbock. Could be beyond. Anywhere in West Texas. We had, what was it? Anna's over there in Olton. Nothing wrong with that. We've got a location in Lubbock too, but it's not a chain. It's not a chain. There's so many over the years that have come and gone that we mourn them all. Getting a text message here. Oh, good. Yeah. Sounds like a good indie rock band there. Yeah, it could be. Actually, yeah, indie rock or maybe like some sort of like the String Cheese Incident, like Fish, maybe something like that, some sort of fusion deal. No, it could be an indie rack band, which is totally different. I liked it the first time, Chris. The old rack bands, You got to get the rack band going. Big 12 champion this year. Who's it going to be? Who do you have? Why do you have them? Will it be, dude, I understand. Look at these thumbs right here. Who you got? You can go with Utah. Would it piss you off if Utah wins? That if they come in and win, I mean, and I'm not a lay down on the railroad track Big 12 guy, but I'd be a little kind of peeved actually, if Utah just rolls in and wins the Big 12. I don't care how good they are. Yeah, I think they're good, you know, but kind of peeve me a little bit. I at least, want to see that it looks like the Big 12 is doing some things because again, how much I devalue and have devalued the Pac-12 over the last decade or so or more. It's a little bit in a weird way too, as we go off on a tangent. I don't want Texas and Oklahoma to absolutely get smoked in the SEC. I want them to be competitive. I want them to look like good football programs that were in a good conference that went to the SEC, which is a very good conference. Although I think the bottom of the SEC is worse than the bottom of the Big 12. But I'm not one who's sitting here going, I want to see OU and Texas get smoked. I don't want to see them win it all, but I don't want to see them get smoked. Just be good enough that you can sit here in the state of Texas and Big 12 country go, yeah, see, we play football too. They've been playing football. Texas softball champions. That's in the spring. That's in the spring. Baylor better than Vanderbilt, always. Chris, I would like Utah to be humbled based on their behavior the last few years. Lance talking about no more OU or TU in softball. Yeah, there's no bigger sport than softball that has been affected or will be affected by the departure of those two teams than softball. That completely recalibrates the whole league. And with what Texas Tech has done with the number one transfer class, the number one recruiting class, number two recruiting class out of high school, the number one transfer portal class in college softball, if you hadn't been paying attention, with the number one pitcher coming in, that when February rolls around, if they're not number one or number two preseason prediction, I'll be shocked, even with a new coach in Glasgow. The team that makes the college football playoff, it's the Big 12 champions, will have 3 losses in your way of thinking, says CJ on Facebook. Yeah, it's possible. And I saw a deal today. I wish I'd saved it. Talking about how many different years, if you went back going the current model, the current playoff model, like, 9 out of 12 years or something like that. And I'm really ballparking it here, so stay with me. But that a lot of years that the Big 12 would have had 2 teams under this current model get in. That a lot of people are saying, only one team's going to get in, the SEC will have 5. That most years the Big 12 would have 2, and a lot of years during that time, you probably could have had 3 teams based on the way it's set up. We'll see. Yeah, so it's possible that the Big 12 champion that gets the automatic qualifier out of the Big 12 title game could have 3 losses. I'm willing to say, though, I'm saying it's possible. I'm saying it's probably going to be 2 losses. And maybe only 1. I don't think anybody gets through the league unscathed. So I guess would probably be somebody gets through and wins the regular season and goes to the title game and wins it with 1 loss. Now, they could, obviously, if they lose, they've got 2. So now you've got whoever won the Big 12 title game and a 2-loss runner-up. That's 2 teams in the playoff. I'd take it right now. I don't know if you guys would. I would. Let's talk Mexican food. We got 5 more minutes or so left. One thing we're not going to get into tonight, and maybe we'll wait for this to play out because this is a really deep dive into the economics of the National Football League and potentially college football, Texas Tech and otherwise. The NFL owners are meeting this week ahead of their big meetings to talk about whether they're going to allow private equity stakes into the teams, which means teams could sell off a minority stake, a very small percentage. So let's say the Washington Commodes at $7.5 billion could sell off, $500 million worth of private equity stake. Okay, now why does this matter? Well, the colleges in the Big 12 particularly have already been looking at infusing cash into their programs via private equity. So with private equity, they come in, they buy a percentage of your business. We're going to own 15% of you, 20%. We'll give you $500 million number. We'll give you this cash infusion We want money on the backside as you go forward. If the NFL does it, mark my word, college will do it. 100%. And Brett Yormark is already way in front of this. Chris, wouldn't be surprised if Saudis buy into an NFL team at some point. Absolutely, they will. 100%. The Saudi fund will buy into some NFL franchise, and it's going to happen. Joseph, with the new Big 12 team, the new 12-team playoff, would the Big 12 be better off not having a championship game, one more loss, and one for our teams? Yes and no, but they are addicted to the money of the title game. They feel like they need the data point. I would say you were correct up until now, but now with the 12 teams, go ahead and play the title game, because now, like I said, the scenario, a one-loss team and a two-loss team meet. Two-loss team wins. One-loss team is going to get in. Two-loss team gets in. You get two teams in. Old deal, one team. Two-loss team gets in, one team doesn't get in. Now it makes much more sense to go ahead and play the title game to give yourself a chance to play in. It's a little bit like basketball and the conference tournament, where there you got your 5 or 6 teams that are going to be in no matter what. Now you're going to allow a team to try to play their way in that last week. Rarely happens. Sometimes it does. But you're better off now, I think, having the conference title game than you were the last 10, 15 years, where it just absolutely screwed you for the most part. And I understand what you're saying there, Joseph. I do. Last few minutes, and I want more Mexican food restaurants. Non-chain, great, fun, awesome, non-chain Mexican food restaurants. What are your tops? Whether it's in Lubbock, whether it's where you live, anywhere. Like one of the greatest Mexican food restaurants is Sundance Restaurant, Red River, New Mexico. Stuffed sopapillas like will blow your mind. And I'm not talking about the dessert style. I'm talking about northern New Mexico stuffed sopapillas. Oh my gosh, life altering. Non-chain, as good as it gets. There's one in Taos called Orlando's, not to be confused with Orlando's in Lubbock. And they have avocado key lime pie, which is great. Now, their enchiladas and their regular plates are great, but you just have that to get to the avocado key lime pie for dessert. I don't need to go anywhere else. I don't even have to go. It's right as you come past the turn to go to the ski run there at Taos. You know, if you're coming from Cuesta, coming down north to south, like I don't even have to go all the way into town. Good. It's as good as it gets right there, in my opinion. Jan, knocking out the old El Sombrero. Follow them every time they move. Love the place. CJ, like NC State in basketball tournament, won their tournament, got in, made a run. Yeah. So you've got to now you're not going to see, your 6th team, obviously, do that. But you're going to have a chance every year with a championship game in the Big 12 to potentially get a team that comes in maybe on the cusp of getting an at-large bid, winning that, and making sure your regular season team's already going to be there. Salsa Brava in Flagstaff, Arizona. Talk to me, Michael. We're in Flagstaff. I've heard they have the best salsa in Arizona, but have never had the salsa. How can you hear that and not have the salsa? How can you talk to me about a place you've not had the salsa? Immediately go there now. Anybody report back to me from Flagstaff, freaking Arizona. The D-Bar in Jowl. Here's the Jowl. Take your word on that. I can't remember the last time I was in Jowl, like on purpose. Yeah, Leal's is not a chain. I mean, it's got locations here around West Texas. Best one is and will always be in Mullishoe. So if you're going through Mullishoe sometime, stop in if you've never done that. Not going to get any better than that. You know what I miss in Meet Tio's over there off of University in about like 76 or something in that shopping center? That was legit. That was some pretty good stuff. Yeah, Leal's. Chips alone, but the food's really good too. You don't accidentally end up in jail. I'm surprised I was holding off a couple. Taqueria Lisco down on 22nd and Q. That's another one. Again, they've got a couple of locations, but it's not a chain. Sorry, I've got a contact that just decided to give up on me tonight. Couple more minutes. I'm not going to run you guys off because I feel like you've still got a couple of good local Mexican food restaurants, non-chain, in you that you're going to throw my way and everything. Went to the Dairy Queen in Seymour. They ran out of ice cream while I was there. The world's slowest Dairy Queen. Michael, I'm surprised you're not still there. It's a dangerous place. All right. Well, you guys, you owe me one more favor tonight. Thanks for jumping in, chiming in, and being part of the show. I want you guys to share this before you get out of here, okay? Whether you're on YouTube, and hopefully everybody who watches this, whether you watch on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. That helps grow everything, makes the audience bigger, moves us up on the analog, what is it? Algorithm. It moves us up on the algorithm. We need that. That helps our sponsors, great people like Sideline Provisions and the Reserve. So yeah, they got good pies there. So do that. And if you watch on YouTube, hey, go follow our Facebook page. We do a lot of cool stuff on our Facebook page, right? Now it's Raiderland. And then, of course, every day, theraiderland.com. Tomorrow, overrated, underrated, rated right Wednesday, and we will be making our predictions. Texas Tech win total tomorrow on the daily broadcast. Thursday, heads up, ain't going to be around for the most part. Taking the kid to college. We're going to be busy. So probably no daily broadcast coming up on Thursday. And then we'll be back on Friday. You guys are awesome. I appreciate everything you do for us and our great sponsors. Now we have to hit the button that says end stream. Well, at my age, that's always a dangerous proposition. See you tomorrow, theraiderland.com.